Welcome to Rges Algebra 1. This is lesson 24A, and we're dealing with section 10.6. Now, I illustrated this in class, but I'll go over it as a review. This first problem is a even though we have a numerical coefficient in the first term, it's the kind you've already done when you've learned to factor. And the reason that it's simple, fairly simple, not as simple as with no number in front of the first term, but there's only one pair of factors for 3 and one pair of factors for 2. So really the only question is, does the 2 belong here, or would the 2 have done better there? Recall when I've got my plus signs here, this means that we have they're both going to be the same sign, they're both going to be positive, and I'm looking for two numbers that would sum. My outer and inner terms would sum to 5. So had I put my 2 here instead, my outer would be 6, my inner would be 1, and that would sum to 7. So that's how we know where to put that 2 and where to put that 1. So look at that a minute, FOIL it back, make sure that's clear to you that that would have been equal to that. However, when we've got another kind of a problem, like in this second example, this is problem number 2, and we now have two factors that can have more than, or two coefficients, the first term and the last term, can have more than one factor. Another technique that you can use is to multiply the 8 and the 5 together, which would give you 120. Then you write down your factors of 120. Recall from the signs, this positive here at 120 will mean that we're looking for two numbers that sum together to get the middle term. So the middle term is 26. So we go all the way down till we get to 6 and 20. And so we're going to use that, and we're going to use it to split the middle term. So we split it to 6 and 20 from these two factors down below. We use our grouping. We factor each group of 2 or each pair. We'll take a 2x out, and we get that. We take a 5 out, and we'll get that for the second pair. And then we identify our common binomial, 4x plus 3, and what is left over makes up the second binomial. So here on the right side, I show you the example again. And with the next problem, we're going to now take the 18 times the negative 6. We'll get a negative. Because it's negative, I'm going to look for the difference between the two, and the larger value will be the negative one because of that negative sign. Okay, so I'm factoring down, and I'm looking until I stop when I get a difference of 23. We're going to split then that 23 into positive 4. Remember, the larger one's going to be the negative, and negative 23. Factoring pairs, identifying the common binomial factor, and bringing the other two over to make the second binomial. Here below here, I illustrate what if I had. How do I know which way to split that? Should I split it to a positive 4, then a negative 27, or a negative 27 and then a positive 4? You don't want to get it wrong, of course. The point is it doesn't matter. So I split it out the second way, and notice my step will have a different answer, but my final answer will be the same. So look that through carefully. That's given you several examples now because we did some on the board in class. So I think that you'll be in good shape to go ahead and try these on your own. And as they get a little more complicated, at the end, go ahead and bring your questions to class.